9.
Hey guys, welcome to Behind the
go.
Bunker. God damn, Matt cut us off in our middle of our conversation. Yep. We are live. Thank you so much for joining us. It is episode 483, podcast number 363. That means we've done 483 episodes of this nonsense. If you guys are new to the show, and if you guys are wondering what the hell I'm doing wearing a mask, we are in Code Red where we are. So all of us are going to be wearing masks for today's show because we are legally supposed to in our area. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. And I'm smiling right now. Look at my smile is just beaming. So thank you guys for joining us. This is our weekly Paintball podcast. You can find us on YouTube and Facebook Live right now. Or you can download this if you're listening to us on podcast form. You can find us anywhere. Spotomatic, Stitcher, anywhere that you get your favorite podcast from. And it's not just me tonight. I have Matt pushing all the buttons, but then I also have Gavin Sharma from Turatech Industries.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us in our Mask Monday, number 2, as we are in the red zone. So thank you so much for tuning in this evening. And remember, we are watching you in the chat. We're watching you in the chat. So make sure you get those fingers typing and ask any questions and interact with us in the show. And I'm asking you to hit that like, share to all your wonderful groups as well, because we certainly want to welcome more people into this program.
Sorry, that's
that's fine. You know, I was talking, but it's fine.
Hey, Gavin, before we introduce Joe and Josh, I just want to say thank you to everyone that shared and listened to Gavin last week. We hit some good numbers last week, and it was because you guys, as the Behind the Bunker Army, shared everything. It was everywhere. I couldn't go on a paintball Facebook page without seeing it shared, so I really appreciate it. If you guys are watching us on the YouTubes, I'm going to do that cheesy smash that like button, ding that notification bell, and what else do they say? I guess comment, and I'll hear the thumbs up.
All that. Pull this cord, turn and cough.
Yeah, all that bullshit.
Whatever.
Put your social insurance number in. And then I also have Josh Zubizabrickus with me.
Yes, hello everyone. Speaking of buttons, Matt's pushing our button starting the show too damn early as we're having a conversation. Yes, thank you for keeping us on time, Matt. And as Todd said, please like and share the show. And a big shout out to Simon Stevens, who is obviously ears were burning
because we were talking about what were we talking about, the AR100.
Yeah, we were just talking
kit?
about his new awesome, fantastic release that just came out. So
and how we can get 4 of them or 5 of them.
Yeah.
5 of them, I guess.
5 would be good.
No, Simon doesn't like us.
And
don't kid yourself.
We'll wave them around like a big giant flag. We'll be happy like the Union Jack.
Yeah. So thank you very much. And then, Joe, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks very much for having me and inviting me and tuning me in here on the... you can't even see the microphone against my mask.
Joe almost sounds... creepy, like he's talking to you through the blinds or the drapes of your window.
Well, you know, I like my mask.
No, I'm not mocking your mask. We all sound creepy because of our...
I can put my hood up, bitch, if you want. There you go. I'm watching you. There you go.
Oh, well. Joe, maybe sit to your right a little bit, because
sure.
I mean, we're not getting your full good side.
My whole side. I'm round.
That's nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again for joining us tonight. Gavin, we were just talking about what were we talking about just before the show?
We were talking about we should introduce Josh Zubizabrickus.
Well, that and our good friend Mr. Tipman.
Oh, Dennis Tipman, passed away. So a blow to the industry. He was an innovator. You know what? You can't really have been a part of this sport without touching something that the Tipman brand hasn't created. So, it's a workhorse still of many fields. So he will certainly be sadly missed by all of us who in the paintball community. So our condolences go out to the Tipman family and the paintball community, because it's a tremendous loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about it. I mean, we've been to Tipman,
We've been to Tipman.
Matt, were you there?
No, I wasn't.
Gavin was, though.
I was, yes.
Okay. Josh, we didn't invite him. We kind of quickly just zipped out that weekend. But they've had a hell of an impact on the industry, if you think about it. I mean, what person hasn't had their hands on a Tipman?
No, precisely.
That's true.
Yeah.
I remember, we were there for when the 98s were, in popularity, the release of the A5.
The
and
A5,
I remember being there, and some guy stood in this big round culvert, and he tested every 98 that came off the line. He dropped a couple balls in, shot it, chronographed it, put it away. Every 98, and then I remember the days of when the millionth 98, rolled off the line. Like that's some history. A million 98 paintball markers were made. That's craziness.
That's enough for 1 million people.
It is enough for 1 million people.
But they were made in the U.S., made by residents, made by people in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Joe's right. Like you could see the tables full of parts, and they were putting them together, and they'd walk every single gun, they'd air them up, screw in a tank, go down this room and shoot down this long tube, chronograph it, make sure it shot, and then boxed up and put it away. And there was a guy they had a tech center. You'd walk in these double swing doors, and there was this tech center that had 4 or 5 benches, and anything that came in for repair, they would go to this place and they would replace all the parts. It was fantastic.
But
like the customer service, like it was a real company, but it was paintball.
Yeah.
Like
then we were there. We were roaming around, and we ended up in this room, and someone comes rushing in. You guys shouldn't be in here. We ended up in the prototype room. I can't imagine how. But we were in the prototype room, and there was some neat prototype stuff. This was, back in the days, when just after the A5 had been released and the X7 was coming out. But something else that a lot of people haven't seen or haven't been to, you may have been to Tittman, and I'm sure you in your paintball career you've seen an M8 paint grenade. But they have this room. There's a guy in the room, and it's all done under high pressure. And the paintball grenades they put the surgical tubing on this adapter, fill it up. But every now and then you're watching the guy make the paint grenades, and one will go off and it'll spin around, and this whole room, the whole walls are covered in all these different colors. And this guy's in there in a set of coveralls, and he wipes himself off. And
damn it, Larry!
Starts making more. So the paintball, the M8 paintball grenade room is pretty neat as well.
Yeah.
And we were there, and they had the Tittman Hellhound.
Yeah.
For those of you that haven't been in paintball a super long time, they had a modified.
tricked out,
customized, modified 4-wheeler. And it had a couple Gatling guns, mini guns on it. They were powered by DeWalt drills.
A toolbox, like ammo holders.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. We saw a lot of history, and we can thank Dennis Tittman for, getting paintball to where we are today.
Yeah,
the first
absolutely.
really semi-automatic, mass-produced, decent functional paintball marker. So kudos.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to try to post up a picture of the Tittman Hellhound here. Unfortunately, there we go. I found a picture. So let me see if I can drag it over. Matt, maybe you can bring it up. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's the Tittman Hellhound there. You can see the Gatling gun in the front with the DeWalt gun there. And the toolbox is full of paint and air, and there's scuba tanks on the back. It was pretty badass. And if you saw that at an event, and that's the thing, Tittman went to events. You know what I mean? That's back when there was money in the budgets and stuff. That's when Eric Yarbers used to work there, and Jamie Chaney. And
Brent was the internet. Our visit there predates our one visit predates Brent, but Brent.
Yeah, Cunningham.
Brent Cunningham and Robert and Nick Meyer.
Nick Meyer. Yeah, a lot of great names from Tittman. Hey guys, post up in the live chat. We see you guys in the YouTube and on Facebook. Let us know what your experience with Tittman is. Just post up any Tittman brand guns that you've shot in the past. And I apologize, the chat's moving too quick, so I can't give a shout out to everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in one of the one of the guys from oh my god, I can't even think of it. And they're going to give you guys proper shout outs. We don't want to steal their shtick, so. What are their names?
The Command Bros.
The Command Bros. God damn it, I'm thick tonight.
Where are you going with that?
Yeah, no, we're going to bring the Command Bros in on a live show one night to give out shout-outs. We don't want to steal their thunder. But thank you very much for being in here. And, guys, post up. Andrew says Tittman Effect at Ultimate Madness.
Yeah, buddy.
Hellhound is still in use at Hell Survivor. Nice.
George Hay says that.
Chica Estrada said the Flatline Barrel. Now, were they really the first ones to come out with it? Because I thought WGP came out with it first.
No.
Tittman made the Flatline, and they made the Flatline barrels for WGP.
Correct.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Little known history there, Cliff Clavin.
Incidentally, I have a Tittman Flatline new in a box. I mean, a Cocker Flatline new in a box.
Very good. Yeah, there we go. Devin Schwartz is sending me a picture of the Hellhound there as well. There's all the specs on it, Matt.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, Devin Schwartz.
Yeah.
The Schwarzenator.
I got a message from Devin. No, that's awesome. So thank you. And again, guys, thank you for all of you guys that are tuning in right now. I know we're just sort of waxing poetic on Tippmann right now, but I appreciate it. And if any of you guys have an opportunity to like and share this video and share it with any of your paintball groups, that would be much appreciated. We really appreciate it. We've been seeing an uptick in our numbers of viewers as well as our podcast downloaders. So keep it up, guys. You guys working for the Behind the Bunker Army are doing an awesome job. So thank you very much. But yeah, Tippmann, guys, what a company, what a fellow. It's too bad we've lost him. Here's a highlight of my Tippmann career. I remember when the A5 first came out, and we had a retail store at the time we were selling A5s, and guys were very excited about it. And then the response trigger came out, and then you could buy the response trigger as an upgrade. And I remember a fellow buying an A5 from our store, buying a response trigger, and saying, "Listen, I would like to, Gavin, I would like to have this installed." And it was like, oh my God, I've never done this before. This is like the most technical thing I've ever done before. And at that time, we were drilling out autococker bodies for E-blades, and I thought, this is going to be terrible. So I said, okay, I packed it all up, put it in my car, took it home, set it up on the dining room table with a pop flat to make sure I didn't lose any parts. And I stressed over this thing, and I thought, this is going to be forever. It only took me 20 minutes. But when I first started, I thought, oh man, this is going to be the worst thing ever. But what a great job. Everything with Tippmann just worked.
Yes,
it fit. It was easy. It was just American engineering at its best, and it was fantastic.
And it still works, Todd.
It
still works.
Yeah.
We have a couple 20th anniversary Tippmann somewhere, Todd. I don't know where they are, but we have them.
We do. Are we on the first name basis, Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are, Todd.
We're doing
as opposed to saying my brother-in-law.
But yeah, I see a lot of you guys. Some of you guys are saying A5 was a great thing to do. Flatline, you guys have played with. We're looking over on the YouTube chat forum as well. Yeah, it's nice to see you guys over there as well. Model 98 says Rednick 1133. Yeah, so it's too bad. I mean, we lose a pioneer of paintball, but. With every Dennis Tippmann, hopefully there's a new engineer out there. I mean, there's guys like Ed Evans. People may not know who Ed Evans is. Ed Evans is one of the creators of the Exalt products. He's quite the guy. I mean, there's a lot of engineers out there in paintball that have designed all kinds of great stuff. Simon Stevens, I'm not sure if he's still watching, but I mean, he's created. I think the count is up to 3 paintball products now. Simon, you'll have to correct me on that, but. Maybe he's created more, but Simon Stevens has created so many paintball products out there that you probably already are using and may not know.
Maybe even the AR100 body kit.
Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we move on to what's in the news tonight? So, again, sorry to hear the loss of an industry legend, but yeah. So here we go, guys. The Jeremy Salm sniper incident is going to be released. This is by paintball.media. All you got to do if you want to watch this, it's going to be released in January. Become a Patreon member of paintball.media. So you guys can have an option to watch that. And I'll tell you right now, I am watching that. The complete history of Paintball, the Director's Cut, the 3 Blu-ray series, that's sold out. But guess what? They've restocked. So you guys can now buy some more just in time for Christmas. And Joe and I were at the paintball field today, and Joe was waxing history with some of the guys, some of the younger guys, and they didn't know some of the origins of the first game of paintball. And Joe and I brought up the fact that they can watch this DVD. And I think if you guys would like to know where paintball came and where it started from, you guys need to get a hold of this. This is an awesome, awesome thing.
Yes, sir.
New to Behind the Bunker, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome the Riot Squad, newly sponsored by Behind the Bunker. Watch for them, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be competing in Southwestern Ontario in the Ontario Paintball League Series. So watch out for them. Great-looking jerseys.
The purple's nice.
Designed by the guys for Riot Squad. Yeah,
Looks like Riot balls. I like them.
Yeah. This was floating around. This Wolf had posted. I seen a bunch of guys posted. I don't know where the original came from, but this is a Game of Thrones knockoff used by Tippmann's. Isn't that? I'll even zoom in so you can see the
all
quality of
98s?
this. They're all. Well, I shouldn't say all Tippmanns because I see a bunch of other stuff in there that could be different. There's some FT12s, Model 98s around the top. Maybe it is all Tippmanns, but I don't want to say that and misquote it. But it certainly looks like it. And then a whole bunch of tanks they're sitting on. There is an awful lot of rental inventory sitting in there right now.
Very cool.
And good for him. So whoever did that, I hate to say it, I don't know who it was that originally posted it, but I'm going to give kudos to it.
Looks like
Well, it says Winter's Coming, which is a Game of Thrones
it?
thing. So, but I don't know who the field that originally did this. So congratulations to them.
There's look at all the guns in there. I never looked closely because I was looking at it on my phone, but it's all Tippmann stuff.
Yeah.
And that bottom part is actually full of tanks.
Yeah.
If you look closely, it's completely full.
Well, tanks for nothing. Yeah, there you go. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. DLX Technologies posted this today on their social media. If you guys are looking for those silly sunglasses that I want a pair so bad.
Really?
Yeah, I do. They're so bad you'd put them on, you wear them for like a day, and then you realize that you don't need them. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to buy one, you can get them when you purchase anything from Lux. Head on over and do that. Let them know that we sent you. Speaking of Instagram, guys, follow us on Behind the Bunker Show. This was posted up just the other day. If you guys are looking for paintball stuff for Behind the Bunker, head on over and
Do you
give
know
it a
whose
like.
arm that is?
Judging by the tonnage of the muscles.
Milo?
No.
Milos?
No.
Milosh?
No, it's not.
Milosh is one of the best tennis players ever.
Milos
If anybody ever wants to know.
Milos Gibson.
Matt, nothing?
Yeah, it's another win for Milos.
So there you go,
Nice.
ladies and gentlemen. Christmas show, ladies and gentlemen. Our annual Christmas show is happening. No graphic, Matt? Is happening
Fine.
Monday, December 21st. I will warn you now, this is going to be a train wreck. It usually is. There's too much eggnog that gets consumed.
Or not enough.
We will play our annual Christmas video.
Nice.
That will give you chills to your bone. And it'll be full of holiday goodness. So check it out Monday, December 21st, right here at BehindTheBunker.com.
Really? Monday 20th? I guess so.
Yeah, because that's it. Will we have a show the following week? I don't know what day that is. Maybe double
It'll be
check that. I think
the
we
The
day-
probably
Monday's like
will.
the 3rd or something like that.
That's
Hang
that's
on,
the
I'm
next
looking
year,
at my
though.
calendar. No, it's not.
So the 21st,
No, it'll be Monday the 28th.
7th.
Was it 28th?
28th.
Is it 28th? Okay,
Yeah.
so there you go. So we'll be back the Monday the 28th. Absolutely.
Oh,
We do not take time off. We are the hardest working show in paintball. I don't know.
Podcasters.
Yeah.
Longest running.
Longest running. Yeah, there you go.
Longest running podcast in paintball.
There you go. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Hit that like and share button. Hit that subscribe button, depending on what you're watching. If you're watching us live on YouTube or watching us on Facebook. What's going to happen tonight, guys, is we're going to produce an awesome show for you guys tonight. We're going to do it on Facebook and YouTube Live. Then what we're going to do when we're done, we're going to say goodbye to Facebook, and we're going to continue to broadcast on YouTube and record our after show. And all of this whole show goes on our podcast. So stick around, guys. Maybe transfer over to YouTube if you guys are watching us on Facebook. But right now, Joe has a video. He dug deep into his vault, scraped the annals that were there, and pulled out this gem. So why don't we check this out, guys? We'll be right back.
It's Joe from Flaggers Paintball here with another segment of From the Vault. Each week we go back in time, back into the early days of paintball. Today is no different. Today we are going to explore the PMI Piranha USP semi-automatic 68 caliber paintball shooter. Spring-fed magazine at the top. You rotate the top port, drop your paintballs in. Awesome. Spring-fed, it pushes the balls right into the breech. The tip is also threaded. You could even put on a pipe kit tip on the front, 12 gram powered, twist turn, and then a finite adjustment. You could even put an ASA on the bottom or even a stock velocity adjust as well. This was PMI's first attempt to make a semi-automatic holsterable pistol. Kind of worked, kind of didn't, but anyway, you've been watching From the Vault. See you soon. Pew pew. I dug that out of the vault the other day, and I pulled it out. It hadn't been used for probably, I don't know, 20 years. No, not 20, probably 14 or 15 years. So I put a 12 gram into it. It clearly needed to be cleaned a bit, but it did actually cycle once or twice.
Oh,
but
nice.
then it died, and it was leaking CO2 out, much like they used to when you pulled them out of the box anyway. But a little bit of lube on the end of the CO2. And it'd be good to go.
I think he's doing it purposefully at this
digging,
point.
I'm not,
I think
you
he
know,
is,
but anyway,
he's digging deep.
So that was that. It was a USP pistol, and there was a holster available. Shortly after they came out with that, they came up with the whole BT Combat line of stuff, and I have lots of little knickknacks as well that I'm gonna
Fiddly bits.
bring
I
out,
like
yes.
Mike Holstrom's
The
comment in the chat.
PCS line of stuff that was actually tactical kind of stuff.
Mike Holstrom in the chat says he was so glad he was broke as a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many kids made that financial mistake.
So that was that. So it was a decent shooter. So we got lots of neat stuff. Who's up?
Nice. So what do we expect
You.
next week? Do we have? Actually, maybe we should tease it just for next week. We won't tell what it is.
I have something. I pulled out a couple bins because I do have bins of stops and boxes, and it was a bunch of Army truck parts from my Deuce and a Half and for my M151. But in the bottom there was this nicely, neatly folded up, and I pulled it out and I showed Todd, and he goes, "Ah, that's cool." So you'll next week tune in. You'll see. It's not a paintball marker, but it was integral in getting me to where I am today, I think.
Yeah, it's all good, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see something, too, from the vault, if there's something that you're thinking, I bet you if you say you want to see it, somehow between the five of us in this studio, I bet you we have it, sadly enough. So send us a message or post up in the live chat. Why don't we move over to Gavin? It's his time to shine for a little mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
I am impressed. You guys did not neglect me this weekend or this week. It is mail time, ladies and gentlemen, the time where I get to rip open my sack and read some of the correspondence that you have sent in. And this is a live and interactive show. We are, or some of these guys are watching the chat and can shout out some questions that you may have that is pressing right now. So let's get into my sack and read what I have first. First one comes to us from Sean Leonard, and maybe this goes directly to Joe. Has there been any more talk of an old-school marker-themed day at Flag Raiders? I.e., players encouraged to bring out markers from the glory days, like Mags, Cockers, and 68 Specials.
You know, Sean, we were talking about that just the other
who?
day. Sean Leonard.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying thanks, Sean.
No, Sean asked. June 27th, 2021 will be the 40th birthday of the survival game. So when they went out, there was 12 players that played paintball in the initial game, and there was 12 flags, and the object of that game was not to get shot, but capture all the flags and eliminate your opponent. I am going to try to put together on that Sunday an old school game, 12 guys. If we can get 12 Nell spots or 12 PGPs, everybody goes out, limited ammo, 12 grams, and they have an old school 40th birthday survival game. But I think
Will you offer people a compass?
we won't need a compass because we'll have our cell phones and we'll be able to use GPS coordinates. But I think leading up to that, I'm also going to bring out some of my older paintball markers on certain weekends, and people will be able to put some paint through them and sort of give them
That's a really good idea.
give them a go, just to see what to see how paintball's evolved. Because if you think back to the early first days of paintball, you had this Nell Spot 007. It didn't have a pump. It didn't have a hopper, and you it was a bolt action affair, and you shot with that, and by the end of 10 or 15 shots, you had a bleeding blister right here. But it was wicked, and it got us there. So many of you haven't experienced.
Will you offer people cam sticks?
I will offer cam sticks and Colt cigars to keep the mosquitoes away
Wine
from you.
tip Colt cigars,
and
yeah.
Norton 180 safety glasses.
Come over to my computer for a second, Matt.
So there you go.
I
That's what
had
we're
to
gonna try.
Google search what is the camo face paint called? Because I wanted to sound educated.
Cam stick.
I forgot last time.
I
so.
have some. Don't worry, you'll
I
get some
know.
for
But I
Christmas.
think that's a,
And we mocked you ruthlessly about it.
I think that's a great idea, and if you can reserve
Now
at
with
least
even
one
more
of
lead.
one of those spots for me, I would love to participate in
Yeah,
that
man.
game.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know what? And as interesting as this sounds, because I'm pretty excited about doing that on the anniversary of the game. I'm hoping other fields can take the initiative and hop on board as well, right? So have like a international old school game match, and then people submit photos.
One of the funnest nights we've ever had, and we talk about it repeatedly, is that we had a PGP only night. And it was the most exhausting and exhilarating paintball night I've ever had, because when you only have 8 rounds in your hopper, or 9 rounds, whatever it was,
Yes,
and you're
sir.
changing 12 grams on the fly, you realize how useless those markers were when you only had two more rounds in the hopper, and people were running you
But
down.
you miss the most important part was the sound. Clunk, clunk,
But the
clunk.
Yeah.
PG
Or you,
the
as soon as you heard, people rushed you. They're like, "He's out! Go get him!"
But the PGPs we used were pump action. The original PGPs, there was no pump.
You had to
had
pull
to
it.
pull the bolt
Yeah.
and twist, much like the bolt on the Nell Spot 007. So like the whole sport has evolved from
Joe's been playing the lottery, and as soon as he gets his winning, he's gonna resurrect the old paintball companies, the old CalMag and Nelspac,
CalMag,
Nelspac, and
Nell
so,
Spot, yep.
and then you guys will never know how cool it was to play retro paintball.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, talk to your field owners and see if you can coordinate a game, a retro, old-school game for the 40th anniversary. I think that'd be wonderful if we did that globally.
Yeah. I just want to see pictures of the apparel worn by those that are playing that
For
game.
me, it'll be old woodland camouflage.
Yeah, man. British DPM. That's what we had.
God, through the progression of paintball, we won't get into it, but I think Woodland was my first pair of camouflage. Then I got an all black. I got a gray. I got ACU, multicam, tan, OD green because I like the olive drab. I've gone through so many, and I'm not Joe because Joe's got everything, but this is just me, and I can say that I have at least 6 or 7 pairs of camouflage. And then I've got multicam mixed with just like coyote print and oh my god, I know. And the Goodwill, I keep trying, but they won't take it. They want to see the homeless. They don't want to. Yeah.
For tracking purposes.
Why do you gotta be like that?
Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Next question comes to us from John Jones, and he says, considering the time, money, and resources paintball equipment manufacturers put into the gear, is buying from non-paintball sources really growing the sport? Ooh, where should you get your gear?
Yeah. That's a tough one. I mean, you look at guys like, as I mentioned before, Ed Evans. He's a small company, and they're a niche company that are little upgrades to paintball. You look at the general sports, like even Empire, they try to come up with, in GI Sports, they come up with little widgets and stuff to try to help you. I mean, guys, if you're not supporting the guys in the industry, you're not helping it. I mean, we can all go to our local hardware store and buy microfibers. That's not what I'm talking about. But like anything else that you can buy that's paintball related from your local or from your manufacturers, I think you need to do that.
Amen. Dance with the one that brung you. Right? So
The one that brung you.
yeah, dance with the one that brung you. So if it's paintball related company, then absolutely throw your support behind them. Because that not only helps them pay the bills, but also invest in research and innovation.
But then you convince her to go to the bathroom, and then it's open season.
Yeah, stay away from. Let's stay away from the Amazons, right? Let's stay away from the big box stores.
I thought we were still talking about the same
Actually,
thing.
it applies.
Amazon's
What's a
the
double
big boxes,
application
I don't
there?
get it.
Yeah. So you know what? Yeah. Again, as I said, so, yes, it's growing the sport if you're supporting paintball manufacturers for sure.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyone
Anybody else have
want
a thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Did I throw you off with a dance with the one that brung you?
We're all thinking about that time we went to the dance with somebody because that's who we went with, but
That's
not who we wanted to leave with.
That's who brought us.
Closing time.
Dance with the one who
Just
brought
play
ya.
Stairway to Heaven, damn it. Let's get this night over with.
Great, I got to spend 8.5 minutes with this person I don't want to be here with.
but
It was
you know-
always November rain at our dances.
For me, it was Stairway to Heaven, and you
Yeah.
knew that was it. You're like, thank God.
It was Bizarre Love Triangle and then Stairway to Heaven.
All right, last question before I cinch up my sack and we completely derail this show. Atlas Paintball wants to know, how did mech paintball become a thing again? Why do you think the resurgence of mech paintball?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question.
Pretty glad it happened.
I think that kind of came on the heels of the recession. You know, less and less people were playing, and a couple guys. I don't know if it's a couple guys, but people have sort of figured out. I don't know. I think it was perfectly timed. I think that kind of bolstered the industry. Wouldn't you say, Joe?
I think so.
Hold on a second, Mike Holstrom. I'll let you finish your thought. You dudes are old. Nothing. No, that's not. That's uncalled for, Mike.
Well, in all honesty, his profile picture does look like he's 13.
Yeah, that's true. He's a handsome fellow, though.
Sorry, Joey, you were saying.
Yeah.
I forget now. I lost track.
All right, so I think why the popularity? There was an arms race for a number of years. Who can the fastest shooting marker and hopper, and then it got really ridiculous. And then you had a lot of old school players who wanted to get back in the game but didn't want to reinvest in the latest space gun. And so I think it really appealed to a niche market of old school players for the love of the game and not love of the technology, right? And so that really appealed to a number of people and it rekindled the spirit in some young players who never experienced that before.
Here's a question. Hypothetically, let's say ramping didn't exist and we never got into this nonsense of 15 to 30 balls a second.
Yep.
Do you think MagFed would have even have taken off, or do you think paintball would have maintained status quo because firing rates were mechanical at the time? Do you think that would have made a big difference? Joe, you have your hand up,
I do.
but you don't have the conch. I'm sorry.
I don't see the. Oh, here it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I think, despite the high rates of fire and ramping and the space guns and speedball, paintball still offers not the majority, but a lot of the population that plays paintball because of the fantasy, because of the element that you can put on your camouflage and you can creep around the forest and you revert to the olden days of, when you were a kid and you played army and you played, or if you didn't, then you should have, hide and go seek and stuff like that. And, with any, war movies and TV shows like SEAL Team, you want to be that guy. You want to dress up in your camouflage and you want to be like a SEAL in a mission. And, video games are not just running around square bunkers like a speedball field. You're on different missions and different objectives no matter what you're doing. Any of these games like Battlefield and Watch Dogs Legion, whether you're in a cityscape or whether you're in a battlefield scape or anything like that, there's a certain fantasy and element that you get when you put your camouflage on. And I think with the advent of functional mechanical mag-fed guns, that's brought people back from airsoft as well. Like it's a pretty great time you can have. And it's the whole mag-fed, as Todd would say, genre has really...
Why is that my word?
I'm going to get you personalized plates. Genre guy.
But I want it spelled John.
Genre guy. I think that's really done a lot for the sport.
So to piggyback off of the original question and the points you're making regarding MagFed, I think video games have certainly helped the MagFed market, the MagFed and Airsoft. So when you had Call of Duty, that franchise, just a number of different first-person shooter video games that made it a little bit more tangible, a little bit more palatable for parents to say, yeah, this is, or kids to say, hey, I would like to do this. That's why they moved away from fields to maps. What's the next map? What's the next map we're playing, right? And so
we don't get kids coming out going, I want a lightsaber.
no,
they say, I want the M4.
Yeah. So I think video games help mag-fed and mechanical paintball.
Andrew Woodward in the live chat, Josh says, Greg Hastings Tournament Paintball won, just saying. And he says, Mike Holstrom says, players who played in their teens/early 20s in the late 90s, early aughts, now are in their 30s and 40s and have more disposable income, and they want autocockers they could not afford back then.
Potentially, or you've got a young family that you're still rearing, right? So,
yeah. Dan and Hardy says 99 was my favorite paintball year. Yeah, sorry, Josh.
I kind of think it was maybe like more of a domino effect. Like we saw sort of the peak of speedball getting into some really ridiculous balls per second and ramping and all that. And I think at the time you could comfortably walk around and talk to anyone at the field and say, this is getting out of hand. And they'd all kind of go, yeah.
Yeah.
And
nobody was having fun at that.
No, and you lost a certain amount of skill that came from walking the trigger and being able to shoot that fast with just your bare hands. And now you've got the guys who couldn't necessarily keep up are now all of a sudden at the top just because they spent more money. It was sort of a pay to win, right?
Yeah.
And then it all sort of went down from there, and then the sort of resurgence started coming around when people wanted to play paintball but keep it affordable and not buy 30 cases a week.
And speaking of resurgent, Reginick 1133 in YouTube says the Iron City Classic came in response of this resurgence. Absolutely.
And I think that was perfect timing.
Yep.
It caught that bottom, that downward swing of that, and it caught on, and people went, look, here we go. We're back at it again. This takes skill to play in the Iron City Classic.
Yeah.
The old school skill that's missing.
I played X-Ball when it was 15 balls a second, and there was coaching, and it was fun. It was fantastic, but it's what killed paintball. That robotic sort of player where all he was doing was listening to his coach on the sideline and shooting 1 million balls a second was fun, but it was killing our sport. And that from the field translated onto the rental fields, and people were getting shot up at 15 balls a second. That wasn't good for anybody.
Bobby Dowse has got a good comment in the
That's
YouTube
not how you
chat.
say his name.
He says autococker's back to case a day instead of a case a kill.
Yeah.
And that's it's certainly not wrong. Like I remember the days of having pod packs. You could get there with like 12 plus 14. They were huge.
Yeah.
The guys were walking out with a case of paint on them and then going back and like they were empty.
And you still get that you still get that mentality a bit. I mean, I know at Flag Raiders they discourage it when somebody shows up at the counter and says, "Yeah, can I get a case?" When you're playing racquetball, like how long are you gonna be here?
You don't need a case of paint.
No. There are some days I don't even think I shoot a case of paint at a big game.
No, it's I mean like that because we all play mech, right? And there's no need for getting crazy out there and shooting up rentals or other players, 15 balls a second or what have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we leave this for just a second? I have something pretty important that I would like to talk to people about. Guys, Planet Eclipse. Did you know that they have more championships, new mechanical markers, new electronic markers, new territory, including the new MagFed division? Get Planet Eclipse, guys, and take on the world. I guarantee you put a Planet Eclipse gun in your hand, and that will be your next purchase. So trust me, ask a guy at the field for a Planet Eclipse gun.
When the world's greatest players, photographers, and expected parents need the best coverage, most vivid colors, biggest selection, they pull a tab on an EG product. Hashtag Pop Smoke.
Thick welded seams, stainless steel hardware, and multiple color options make Air Ups the number one choice for inflatables on and off the field. Made in America by Brent Davis and his crew, and letting everybody know that there's 20% off all orders right now if you use the promo code HOLIDAY20.
And congratulations to Brent Davis on his anniversary today.
6 years.
And he's still watching this show.
That's awesome.
Dreams fade. Ruthless paintball products, colors, sublimation, and craftsmanship never die. On or off the field, Ruthless keeps you fresh. Use the promo code BTB15 for 15% off your order.
Adapt, create, and win. Exalt is in our blood. Make your game boil, get Exalt. Available worldwide.
You made me bleed my own blood.
From the beginning, you stumbled down a rocky cliff or waded chest deep through a mosquito-infested bog. And whether you're sliding into a snake or running a gunny, GI Sports has the gear for you. Now with the new Tippmann Stormer, Stormer Basic, and Stormer Elite.
DLX Technology, guys. True industry innovators. Now, with some of the lightest, fastest, sleekest hardware in paintball, DLX has the power to get you to the podium. And isn't that where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen? Head on over to your local retail store and check out a product from DLX. Check out the Shockers or the Enemies by GOG. Guys, if it wasn't for these awesome sponsors, and sorry, our cameras are being goofs today. Thank you for our awesome sponsors. We would we would have better cameras. No, I'm just kidding. We're having a problem with them tonight. But thank you to our awesome sponsors, guys. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be on the air, and you guys would be watching something much better on Facebook and YouTube right now. And thank you to you guys that are watching. Truly, we do honestly appreciate it. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. Thank you. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Hit that share button if you're watching us on Facebook. And guys, what's going to happen is we're going to continue to broadcast live on Facebook for a little while. Then we're going to say goodbye to you guys. We're going to continue to broadcast on Facebook, and we're going to do our after show /podcast. So we've done Prices Right. We've done the Vault. We've done Mail Time. You guys up for a little Prices Right? We haven't done that in a little while.
Christmas came early.
And speaking of Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget our Christmas show on Monday, December 21st, Behind the Bunker. And before we get into this, guys, last week we showed you, Gavin, maybe show them this behind you.
Can you grab that?
DefConPaintballGear.com as he destroys. By the way, Dwayne King, I know you're watching at home. He did that purposely. He knocked your 3D
We
printed.
need something new, you jerk.
It's a supply drop, the DEF CON supply drop. But inside the supply drop came the DEF CON 3D PVC rubber patch. And we are going to have Josh, the official patch wall monitor, put up the patch on the patch wall.
And unfortunately, our camera's down, but you can see on this one that he is actually putting it up there. So, very good. Dwayne King, Gavin is now gluing back together the fragment of printing that he dropped, and you didn't have to kick it when it was on the floor, by the way.
Grinding it into the ground.
Sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can watch and play at home. What we're going to do, we're going to post up an eBay item that was sold. You guys need to help the panelist here decide how much it was actually sold for. And if you guys get it right, you win, well, nothing. But you certainly get to brag about it if you guys win it. So here's an example. First up for bid, we have the Tippmann Model 98 Custom Pro. This one's been around the block a couple of times. So not only does it have a little corrosion down there,
Looks like it was in a can of Coke.
but it's got a little twisty there in the micro line, or in the steel braided line there.
Look at that one.
But this has ACT. It has which is anti-chop technology for those that are new to the sport. It has paint that's been shot through the barrel and stuck in the breech or in the porting, which hopefully should be cleaned.
Rusty
and it also
caulking
has
knob.
and this is great for this time of year, ladies and gentlemen. But it also has a double trigger. So if you guys are wearing mittens. or gloves, you guys will be able to actuate the ACT. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Gavin, you won last time by a huge margin.
I sure did, Skip.
So we're going to let you start first.
Excellent.
What are you thinking this is going to go for?
I'm going to say $50, Bob.
Okay. And we're going to go clockwise, so that would mean, Joe, you'd be next. What do you bid? And we're watching you guys at home, like Stephen Birchfield says, $9.95, only for the extra twist. Roger Weaver says $45, and Chica Estrada, with my favorite name, says $35. Joe, what are you thinking?
$62.
62. Do you want to give that more thought, or
No,
is that as accurate as you want to be?
That's close enough.
Okay. Oliver Powell says $20. Richie Rampage Santos says Frankenstein hurts my eyes. $1. Josh, what are you thinking? Can I tell you that Stephen Mayer's on crack at $400?
Yes, you can. That's perfectly acceptable. I agree with that. I would have to say this one for $10 and a bottle of penetrant for all those seized screws that are on.
Nice, Matt. Do you want to have at it?
Oh, okay. You know what? This went for a nice $25.
All right. So I have to tell you that Matt's, I think, is one of the closest, but Jason Mullins in the live chat got it exact. This sold for $20.
Oh, wow. That's
$20, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
If
good
you're new
value.
to the sport, this was a find. Every rental field in the world has this as a rental gun, and it probably works for them just fine.
Not the
this
Pro.
you also get a drop forward and everything. So congratulations to who got
Zuby.
that.
Oh,
Zuby got $20.
Matt overbid.
Yeah, Zuby bid
I said
$10.
10.
oh, okay. There we go.
Matt overbid at 25. Isn't that bad for a Model 98?
98 Custom Pro.
Custom
All right.
Pro.
109.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh,
Does anyone know what that is?
Oh, view loader velocity.
Velocity. Yeah.
Junior.
That's right. It is a view loader velocity, ladies and gentlemen.
So big.
And if you're not really sure much about it, I'll zoom in for you. The lid seems to be intact. This was an offspring, a bastard, if you will, from the Evolution Egg, same plastic.
This worked better, though.
The lid may
It
have been
sadly
slightly,
did,
the
slightly.
lid may have been slightly more robust.
Although this does have a smoke or translucent shell, because you can see inside of the ball tray.
That's the. Oh, okay.
Here's a trivia question
you
quickly
can't, I
for
was
you
gonna
guys.
say that's the dude's hand who's taking
Why-
a picture of his cell phone, but
Why do you not want a clear loader? Why were clear loaders never really a thing back in the day?
Because people can see all the balls in your hopper.
Or the lack thereof.
That's why you don't wear clear pants.
It's it's so bullshit. Nobody can see across the field and go, Gavin's only got 17 balls left in his hopper. We shouldn't sell clear loaders. All right, Andrew Woodward is going to try $20 again. Mike Holstrom says, I assume it's broken.
so
Good
did we.
assumption.
Andrew Capitan says $10. I don't know if that's French or not. Oliver Powell says $15.50. Dan Hardy in the YouTube chat says $39.99. And Cowskill 355 says $60. Velocity Junior, I'm saying $18, says Reg Nick. Okay, Josh, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna say $5 because the batteries in it might still be good.
Oh, I didn't.
all corroded.
It's pretty bad when you have to consider if there's batteries in it, if it's worth something. All right, Matt, what are you thinking? There's no electrical tape on it.
Yeah, it's aesthetically it seems to be in one.
Pleasing.
Yeah,
The screws aren't all scratched up, so you can tell the person didn't take it apart a lot either.
yeah,
It may
and
not
plus
have
it's
been
got the
used.
smoke shells.
Is it
So-
smoked or is it just black with a reflection?
I think it's a smoke.
You can definitely see.
You can see the tray.
the tray in the bottom.
You can smell the hickory.
There
Yeah.
seems to be a sale on methamphetamines in Richie Rampage Santos's town.
Yeah,
He says
I think he's
$1,599.
talking $15.99.
Let's give him $15.99 then.
let's hope he meant 1,599 pennies.
Yeah, I'm gonna say $17.
Okay. Kevin in the YouTube chat says, I will pay you $20. Gavin, what are you thinking?
That's what I was going for. $20. Swell pub.
Okay.
Well, everyone else, I'm going to go $24.
The
Jojo-
Doge kicks in with no tape yet.
So here's a question, ladies and gentlemen, before we finish this. Do you guys know why loaders used to have tape on their feed necks? That's an interesting question,
Yeah,
right,
I
Joe?
do.
Like,
Yes.
think of how
We
many.
all do.
Think of the
We
whole-
all put tape on our feet.
But why did we put tape on our feed necks is the question. I'm wondering if anyone in the live chat knows why. Is that all the bids then? We're
Yes.
closed. This sold for $27.
That Joe?
Joey
Yeah.
Jojo got that.
Shabadoo?
Junior. Oh, worst name ever.
Oh,
Well done, Gavin.
as he walks away in tears. All right. Let me find one here. Since we're doing a Dennis Titman sort of tribute night, let's stick with some Titman models.
Oh.
This is the Titman A5 marker. It is used, but look at that bad boy.
It's a
And you
second
know damn
generation.
well that you're going to put your air tank on that. You're going to screw it in. You know what it's going to do? It's going to seal up, and it's going to shoot when you pull that trigger. It's going to work for sure.
No, it's going to go, and everybody in the staging area is going to go cock it.
Roger Weaver says to keep the hopper from spinning is why you have loader black electrical tape on
No,
it.
yeah,
and Kevin
kinda.
Kevin says
Bill
to
Scribner's
fit,
got it.
which he's right. And what does Bill Scribner says?
So Gavin couldn't kick them off.
So here's the thing: loaders in the back of the day, especially Halos, came oversized for most guns. So what you do is you would take a piece of sandpaper and you take it to where the feed stack would go into your hopper or into your gun, and you take a piece of sandpaper and you twist it a couple of times, and you use like a 200 grit sandpaper to actually sand it to take that plastic down so it fit in your gun. But the problem is you'd over sand it. You'd get a little overzealous and you'd sand it a couple too many times, so then you'd end up having to put electrical tape back on it so that it would fit in your gun. And then shortly time after that, they'd actually come up with clamping feed decks
Yes, sir.
at a larger size feed stack.
Because it
So,
took hours of sitting there, and eventually you go, oh, screw it.
but that's the problem. It shouldn't have taken you hours. It should have just been a couple of
The
twists.
manufacturers of hoppers and paintball guns did not come in agreement and make a universal size feed neck. So
There was a
some
snow day,
inconsistencies.
and only the paintball manufacturers showed up, not the hopper manufacturers. They missed it by a day, and that's what happened. So,
It's all a big conspiracy theory from Big Tape.
yeah. By the tape consortiums. Oliver Powell says $100. Shane Free says $125. Chica Estrada says $70. What are we starting at? Who won that?
Joe.
I did.
Joe, what are you thinking, Joe?
115.
Yeah. Mike Holstrom has a reasonable explanation, but because it's reasonable, I can't read it. We can't give right information out here.
That's right.
Joe, what are you thinking?
I didn't-
Or sorry, Josh, what are you thinking? Because you already answered, right?
I did.
Yep.
I'm Joe.
You are.
I'm going to go with the 99.
I didn't recognize you without the cam tape. Tuba Rock says $125. Dan and Hardy says $80. Cowsel 355 says $96, and Regnick says $65. Richard Knott $50. Matt, what are you thinking?
For an A5?
Tracy Santos, she's a girl, says $85.
You know what? I'll go with Tracy, 85.
Crap.
She says 86, but that's okay.
She does say 86. It was Elliot Darno that says 85. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Gavin, what are you thinking?
Now you're going to get it wrong, Matt.
I'm going to say $75, but I'll be screwed, though.
Yeah. Jason Mullins in the live chat says $60, and you know what? He got the closest. $66 reduce.
Really?
He did, absolutely. Same with Regnick, 11.33 got $65. Fantastic. Let's see here. Let's do one quick more. This one here is a
TGR2?
it's a TGR2, and you get everything in this picture. So let's have a look at it itemized. You have a TGR1. Oh, denied, Josh. TGR1.
Damn.
Then you get this nonsense.
Yeah,
It's an airsoft setup. Remember, you're playing paintball here, ladies and gentlemen, so this doesn't fly. It's a bump helmet with airsoft goggles and an airsoft grill.
Jesus.
Yes, my son. And then this is a... What would you call that
It's got AK
abomination?
pouch
Bandolier?
It's a bandolier. It's like a Rhodesian setup.
Yeah. So this would be like a informal night out?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? You get the entire package.
It's got a bipod. It's got a scope, offset scope.
It's got
Oh, yeah, I
a
didn't
light
see
on
the
there.
bipod.
Red
Or laser.
Pardon?
It's a laser.
Laser.
And it's spelled with a Z, so you know it's high
Zap.
quality. Roger Weaver's going to start it out with $200.
Cowskill says it looks like it comes with a busted lip and a mouthful of paint. Yes, it does.
Well played, Castle. Yeah.
Joe, do you have a bid?
160.
Sorry, 160?
160.
George Hay says 150. Suck it. Mike Holstrom says 115. Joshery?
175.
Oh.
Okay.
Never underestimate the power of the MagFed marker and helmet.
Yeah. Matt, what are you thinking over there?
215.
Oh.
Nice. Chica Estrada says
Got it.
120. Andrew says 217, Matt. Shane Free says 355. And Mike Thompson says, it's a freaking laser beam. All right, all bids are in?
No.
Gavin?
I'm thinking similar to that team tags money, $200 even, Bob.
All right. I'm going to have to pass the sheet to Matt because you won't believe me when I tell you.
It's in the hundreds, isn't it?
But you have to look at the back.
Wow, there's more zeros than I thought there'd be. It's $1,000.
Are you?
I am not kidding you.
And a fool and his money.
Yeah.
Wow.
So where does that... Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is eBay where there are really no rules.
So
this is like buying stuff on the black web.
So Oliver Powell in the chat got it the closest at 115 British sterling pounds.
So, Matt, who came the closest on that?
That would be me at 215.
All right. And where are we with score-wise?
Gavin in the lead with 10 points.
That's right.
Nice. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're going to do. For all of you that are watching on Facebook, we're going to say goodbye to you in a moment. For those of you that are watching on YouTube or listening at home on our podcast, stay tuned. This is where all the good stuff happens. We're going to do our after show. So stay tuned for that. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're going to say goodbye to all of our friends on Facebook, but don't go anywhere. We're going to continue. So if you guys are watching on Facebook and if you had a great time, please hit that like and share button. We really appreciate it. And share it with any paintball groups that you belong to.
Or non-paintball groups.
Yeah. You know, like we're still trying to hit those like paintball in latex groups or any of the obscure ones that are out there. So please try to share them with them. Those of you that have been sharing the last couple of weeks, we've been doing really well, and I appreciate it. And if you guys don't have the audacity to sit through an entire hour on Facebook, download our podcast. You guys can get it in your ears as you're at work or at school. You can listen to us and have some fun that way. So why don't we say farewell to all of our Facebook friends? Anyone have any farewell or last wishes before they go away?
No, just appreciate you guys joining us again for Monday. And don't forget, we're here every Monday at 8:05. We go live. So we'll see you again next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we say goodbye to all our Facebook friends, and we'll see you guys over on YouTube in a minute, and or we'll see you next week.
Audio Jungle.
Oh, there's 66 years. At least.
It's all frozen.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Welcome back, guys, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on YouTube and we're live in our podcast. Josh, this will make you happy. I bought
A spider?
a monolith for a router because our router for you guys isn't working very well.
Did you ever?
And I'm going to replace that with a proper working one. This is thank you to Amazon and your Black Friday sales.
Oh, I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
yeah. So there you go. I have another purpose for that. I have to send it somewhere else. So that'll be that. So thank you guys for joining us. We are live on YouTube. We are watching your live chat. Dwayne King says tonight's podcast brought to you by Gavin Partly Covered Face.
Richie Rampos, a nice night, everyone. Fun show, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, so awesome. So we have we're on our after show, guys, and if you guys get an opportunity to download our podcast, that's much appreciated. Our podcast numbers have been going up, as well as our Facebook numbers. I'm not really sure why. We are now in a red zone where we are, which means we're back to sort of when the pandemic first started. So we're back closed. We've got to now stand out front of any retail store in a line because they only let so many in. That's why we're wearing masks on the show. So I think more people are at home. More people are doing things again online. I don't know. That or Gavin's being charming, and Josh, I mean, we're finally letting him speak because we normally hold him back. But I don't know.
I was gonna say it's not my chippery attitude.
Chippery.
Do you remember the chippery?
Yeah, deep fried stuff.
They used to take potato chips and slice them into potato chips and then fry them up, and they were called the chippery. So, like, instead of getting French fries, you'd order
get
yourself an
chips.
order of chipperies. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys very much. Unfortunately, this is a podcast for the most part. I wanted to show you guys the monolith that's now in our studio. I don't know where it came from, but it's now here. And yeah, have you guys heard about this?
No,
What?
can you tell us?
Seriously,
talking
the
about?
monolith that's in Utah that they
Oh,
found?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Big silver.
Apparently it's gone now.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
It's been replaced with a pyramid of rocks. And now they've refound the monolith. It's in, like, it's not Bulgaria, but it's...
Oh, this is going to be some stupid marketing campaign
No, it's
for
some
shoes or
artist,
something.
I guarantee it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, probably.
yeah, it's monolith tampons or something.
Ew.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
can see
now
at the end it's finally going to show up in the middle of Times Square and it's going to say, drink Coke.
No,
No,
nothing's going to
it's-
happen. It'll be like Banksy, right?
Okay,
Ooh.
I will put money on it right now. It'll be Gabbo. You'll
Who's that douchebag that take the banana to the wall?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember who, but
yeah.
It's probably that guy.
I bet you it's some sort of
Oh,
artist
yeah,
who's trying to
Trying to
make
save
a
his failing
statement.
career.
And you know what? All he did was take stainless steel and hit it with a grinder and make those patterns on it, and people are all like, And the fact that the guys that every time you see a picture of it, it's two guys in like all olive drab coveralls. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just all the pictures look fake and staged. I mean, come on. I don't know. Whatever. But good for them.
Yeah, because they're making a lot of money off of that.
Well, it'll be an ad for toilet paper or something at some point. So
It's true.
yeah. So whatever. Good show tonight. That was fun. That was really fun. We'll have to ask for some more questions. We'll have to do another subject for next week because it's always good. I had a couple antiques in the road show that we were going to get to, but I didn't get to. So anything you guys want to bring up or chat about while we have you live here?
Did Amazon on their Black Friday sale have new cameras that work? Or
I don't know what's going on with our cameraman. I have to be honest with you, I don't know.
yeah, it's
So-
frustrating.
It's very frustrating. I will say I do have a couple of things that I want to say. I can't say the name of this person because they've asked me not to say it. But they said I haven't listened in a while. He only listens to our podcast. He goes, I haven't listened in a while, but jumped onto Spotify to listen to last night's show, and I've got two quick comments. He says Jeremy Salm is the coach of TMG Outlaws, which we were talking about last week. He said, and I think he has some form of stake in Trade My Gun website. So I don't know. We talked about that last week. I'm not sure if that's true or not. And then he also says, thank you to Gavin. You had made a dialogue last week about COVID, and he said that he really enjoyed your take on it, and a lot of people wouldn't agree, but he thought that what you had said was really good. So
Good.
he says he also has 20 shows to catch up on, but not nearly enough alcohol to do so. But it's good to be back.
Well, welcome back, my friend,
Nice.
and thank you for the kudos to me. So you're my new.
And I'll let you know after the show who that was. And speaking of not enough alcohol, so I'm hoping by the Christmas show, and I'm sure it won't be by the Christmas show, but as soon as we're not able to have our masks on back of the show, we are going to have another wine cast.
Yes, sir.
I am looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
What we're gonna do
Can't
is-
we just get some straws?
So that
I was gonna say, can we get straws? Like,
Okay,
look,
that
just
was
put little
that was
neck in
actually
here
a
and away we
question that
go.
came up in mail time, and I don't know if they were being sincere, so I sort of skipped it. But they were asking when the next wine show was going to be because clearly you guys polished off quite a bit of wine.
So for those of you that guys don't know, here's a little look behind the curtain of Behind the Bunker. So every night that we're here, we all come to the studio. We all kind of have at least a drink or two. Joel, Gavin, Josh, Joe and Gavin and Matt will usually have a tall boy. Josh and I will usually drink some sort of liquor with some sort of a beverage.
I like liquor and horse.
And it's just enough to kind of sort of take the edge off. Well, we had one night a couple weeks ago, we thought, well, you know what? I don't have any beverages. I'm going to have a glass of wine. And I offered everybody else, and everyone went, ooh, wine. So I went upstairs, got some wine glasses, and we all got into a bottle of wine, and it quickly vanished. And I got into a second bottle of wine, and the night continued, and it was quite a...
I did not even realize you got into a second ball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, when you were staggering home, did you not realize?
No, it's downhill. It's fine.
Yeah. So regardless, we found that Winecast was quite a spectacular evening, and I think that we may try to do that. And it may be the Christmas show, and we may have it sponsored by Uber. But we may try to get into Winecast again. So if you guys have any suggestions on any cheap wine or malt liquor even.
Oh, can we get some 40s?
Oh, some Bodhies.
Some OE?
Colt
like,
45?
Like we had a
OE?
got
Oh,
some-
jeez. It tastes like college.
I'm thinking that Aerops has a great representation here on the table, but if we put a box of wine with a spigot facing us, we could just take care of ourselves. And you heard a little gurgle during the show.
Instead
Just
of
ignore it.
Instead of a spigot, we can almost incorporate sort of a hookah, but of wine. It's collective
Yeah.
straws.
Well, out of the camera sight, there is a ceiling here where we could have a funnel hooked up. Or we could even hook it up to our intravenous into our veins.
I'm with Lisa Weaver in the chat on this one. Don't bring the claw again.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a refrigerator in our green room that we've randomly just sort of brought liquors in and accumulated and stuff that people aren't drinking. And there is some White Claw in there. There's also, Josh, maybe grab that bottle behind you, that pink crap. We fell into the trap that everybody said, "Oh, you got to try this," and everybody
You
it was
did. None of
limited
us fell into
edition.
this.
Blah blah blah. What's it called?
Give it to Joe's shot.
Pink Whitney.
Pink Whitney. Here, Gavin. You.
No,
No,
okay.
who's close to the camera?
So Pink Whitney is the crappiest liquor. I've ever tried. And now, one of our staff at the field equated it to it does a good job efficiently. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching us on YouTube, there's Pink Whitney by Barstool Sports. And they're flogging it pretty heavy. And I thought, you know what? I was at the liquor store and I had 4. They had a whole stack there, and everyone was going on about how rare they were. So I grabbed 4 bottles, thinking, well, if nothing else, it's probably that good. We'll want at least 4, and if not, whatever.
What is it? Is it a vodka? Is it a?
No,
it's crap. it's terrible. You guys tried it? We sent out
pink
samples
lemonade
around.
flavored
Meg
vodka
tried
drink.
It was awful.
That sounds just like sugar.
Well, whatever it is, it's nasty. I don't know if any of you guys have tried this stuff at home, but even alcoholics will take it and go, "This is terrible." They'll spit it out. It is nasty.
Let's spit it out and go, do you have any scope?
Yeah. So whatever. Where's the green room at George 42? So if you actually we're looking at it
We
right
just
now.
turn around in our chairs.
So if
and
I
we're in
look
the green
this
room.
way, for those of you that are watching podcast, I apologize, but if I look straight this way, there's Matt and the production company that's in front of us, and then behind him, we call it the green room, but there's about 3 leather sofas. There's a cheese platter. Gavin, what else do you see over there? I see a cheese platter, a veggie plate.
charcuterie board.
The veggie tray never gets touched, but the charcuterie board, there's definitely some there. And it's hard because we have to label it because we used to not, and Gavin would just lick the various meats until he found one that he'd like, and then he'd put it
salty.
back. Yeah, and then he'd put it back. So now we have to actually label it.
Yeah.
And then the masseuse, hi Jackie, she's over there. She does the pre-show massages. So yeah, that's our studio, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. Anything else you guys want to chat about or bring up on our after show / podcast, or should we sort of roll in the outro?
I think it's anything on your mind there, Josh?
No, I'm thinking it's time to go because my mask just smells like rum.
Yeah, that doesn't help wearing a mask. It
This is awful.
doesn't filter anything.
No.
I guess it could, yeah, George, hey, where's the Vegemite? I guess my mask could smell like Vegemite.
Vegemite's right here, my friend.
There you go. We have a Vegemite box that's like the box wine, and you just sort of splooge it out into little ramekins and dip
I
it
have
into it.
Vegemite all the time, my friend.
There's a guy in the chat watching from Iran.
Not Iraq?
He says there's 540 there. Listen, I don't know much about Iran at all, but what's your all's version of Vegemite?
So what would be their national sort of
What's your national
food that no other people...
National spread? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, what do you put on toast every morning?
So
If you say avocados, I'm going to say it's a cop-out and come up with something
kind of like
better.
your hummus. Would it be hummus?
Hummus?
There might be, maybe it's tabbouleh.
Yeah, maybe.
We're getting asked what's going on with GI Sports. Nothing.
Same
GI
thi-
Sports is
same
going to
thing,
continue
yeah.
to move on. They're going to keep on trucking. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. I think you're probably going to see
There'll be a new name probably and rebranding.
You think so?
Yes.
IG
Really?
Sports.
Okay.
I
IG
believe-
Sports
And some of the less...
for those dyslexic people.
I think lesser selling products will be killed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you'll continue to see some great paint from them. I think you'll see some good offerings from them.
I know what we could. Richmond Italia, who was formerly GI Sports, he bought Remington.
What? What?
Yeah, he bought Remington. Yes.
Remington,
the gun
Remington?
manufacturer.
He did, yeah. And Dwayne King says, meanwhile, the podcast room is 4x6. It's not 4x6, it's 5x7. And we had to make room for our catering budget. So, yeah, he did. And it's nice to see that Richmond is not only back in paintball. Richmond's a smart fellow. They basically taken GI to where it was, but now he's also in the Remington business. That's fantastic. Remington's been around for
Centuries.
Yep.
centuries and have some good wear. So good for them.
Maybe he'll send me
ANS
parts for my 700.
Is ANS Gear going to buy JT? I would say probably no. JT is a popular brand and it's owned by GI Sports. It'd be a shame. If I was GI Sports, there's no way I'd let
That's
GI
probably
JT
one of them.
go.
That JT is nearly the most one of the most recognizable brands in paintball. Like Tipman, JT,
Agreed.
and then you're probably Empire Die, and then from there beyond.
Yeah. Nima says, "Do you guys know what happened to PB Nation? I mean, is it no longer active. Now, maybe because you are from Iran, maybe you can't get PB Nation, but it is still active. It's still going. And John Drescher's done a really nice job, and I wanted to bring that up to Joe, and I forgot to bring a picture of it. But there's some new JTs. Did you see that? The Vietnam edition with the choppers on the side?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So it's
What-
like
are they-
OD green with an orange mix, and the strap has a chopper on it.
Cool.
I can't stop saying chopper without thinking of
Are you thinking like a Black
Arnold
Hawk?
Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper! But yes, it actually looks really cool.
Is it like a Proflex or?
It is a
That
Proflex.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't wear that without my PTSD from Nam kicking in.
Yeah. Unlucky Canadian says, I know this is a paintball podcast, but with a decent turnout of airsoft players at Flaggers, is there a chance for memberships for airsoft players? We're working on something. Airsoft is definitely something that Flaggers enjoys having, and we're really working on the program this year. So maybe next year we'll talk about something, but right now we're just trying to get through the pandemic, and we're trying to stay alive. So maybe next year, if the pandemic finishes, we can certainly talk about it, right, Joe? Would that be fair to say?
There's probably something that we could, some sort of program that we could probably look at. Maybe even having a Saturday, Sunday price.
Yeah.
We've talked about a couple things. So
In the meantime, as practice, we are doing a secret handshake, so you can kind of feel like you're part of something. So ask us at the field on the weekend, and we'll teach you the secret airsoft handshake.
Van Buren boys.
Yeah, the Van Buren boys.
But on another note, I just opened up airsoft for this weekend. So on Saturday, Sunday, this upcoming weekend, we have more airsoft again. So if you want to get out and get some, come on up for some airsoft.
There you go.
Well, the Doge says there's a Is there a Flectarn one that was released?
I don't know, but I just saw. What was it called? Mutiny, with like the Jolly Roger.
That's
That
a,
looks
jolly,
pretty
it's a
neat.
Jolly Rancher.
And delicious.
Yeah, I like the strawberry kiwi Jolly Ranchers. All right. Well, why don't we end this, ladies and gentlemen? We are getting on with time. And to be honest with you, 2
Time
weeks
keeps on
ago, we
ticking,
got
ticking.
killed for bandwidth and downloads on our podcast stream, and we had to upgrade our package. I don't want to have to do it again because it's very expensive. So why
What,
don't
no
we?
ding? Anyways, whatever.
So why
I'm busy
don't we?
looking up the masks now. Leave me alone.
So why don't we end this in a moment? First of all, I want to say before we say our goodbyes, guys, if you were watching us on YouTube, thank you very much, guys, for sticking it out. If you guys are listening and downloading our podcast, you guys are our bread and butter, and I love you guys all. I appreciate you guys. And for you guys subscribing to our podcast on all the platforms that you do, it's fantastic. Some of the fastest growing places that you guys are listening to us on are Google Play and when you're on Alexa. So if you're doing some housekeeping, or if you're at home, just say, hey, Alexa, play that Behind the Bunker podcast, and you're going to get that show up right up on your screen. So thank you very much. Gavin Sharma, speaking of thank yous, thank you for being on the show tonight.
No, thank you, Todd. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and continuing to support this little program that we have here. And we will see you next week. So thanks, and make sure you let everybody know what you do on a Monday night.
Yeah. Joe Kimson from Flaggers Paintball.
In keeping with Gavin's statement, thank you for tuning into the little podcast that could. And see you this week. If you want to come out and play paintball Saturday, Sunday at the outdoor, Saturday, and open airsoft Saturday, Sunday as well, 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Come on out. Pew pew.
Do I have to say your name, Josh? Or could you just...
I'm lost on this on the JT website. Sorry. Yeah, thank you to everyone who liked and shared the show. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, of course, help control your local airsoft population. Have your local airsofters spayed or neutered.
Oh, Unlucky Canadian is not going to like that comment. But thank you very much, guys. And next week I will spoon feed Josh to let him know when it's his time. Thank you, Matt, for pushing all the buttons.
Hold my
Yeah,
hand.
you're welcome.
And I'm already holding your knee. Do you feel that? And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.